Hello and welcome to a Times special presentation for Thirukkural with the Times, where we explore real-world lessons from the classic Tamil text Thirukkural with motivational speaker, author and diversity champion Bharathi Baskar as she explores the masterpiece. Perhaps the finest art is that of successful negotiation. The deal should leave both parties satisfied, through hook or crook. What insights can world leaders, especially in the case of the US-Iran conflict? What does an episode of the Ramayana involving Ravana and Hanuman teach one about diplomacy?
Even after weeks of heightened tensions and back-channel diplomacy, the recent US-Iran negotiations failed to produce a lasting breakthrough. Once again, the two sides walked away without agreement, reminding us that in negotiations, talking is not the same as reaching common ground. How to achieve success in negotiations is a key question today in politics, business, and relationships. I recall my childhood days. Every Sunday afternoon, the stainless steel vessel vendor visits our street, balancing a giant wicker basket filled with gleaming vessels on his head. My mother would call him in. She would lift one of the larger vessels, weigh it in her hand and ask almost casually, "How much?" The vendor never answered immediately. "For others, it is one price. For you, Amma, I will give you a special rate, 30 rupees. Who will pay 30 for something this thin?" She would dismiss it before calmly saying, "It is worth no more than 3 rupees. As a child, I just wanted to disappear. 3 rupees? Surely the man would be offended, shout at us, and walk away. Instead, something fascinating happened. The conversation continued with complete composure. Numbers rose and fell. Objections were raised unanswered. Silences lingered, and smiles appeared. Finally, the 30-rupee vessel would change hands for around 70. Before the vendor lifted the basket again, my mother would insist that he drank a large tumbler of chilled buttermilk before setting out in the afternoon heat. Only years later did I realize that those afternoons had quietly taught me my first lessons in negotiation. The first lesson was patience. The one in a hurry usually loses the advantage. Good negotiators are willing to wait. They know that time itself can become part of the negotiation. The second lesson is that negotiation is rarely won by the loudest voice. Those who dominate conversations often reveal more than they realize. Skilled negotiators speak little, listen carefully, and are comfortable with silence. A thoughtful followed by a pause can achieve far more than a torrent of arguments. Silence has remarkable persuasive power. Experts often say that one of the best ways to negotiate is to let the other person talk and make them feel they are only steering the conversation. Instead of imposing solutions, they gently guide the other side towards discovering them. People are far more committed to an idea they believe is their own. The third lesson is to negotiate only with the person who is the decision maker. There is a delightful moment in Valmiki Ramayana. After Hanuman is brought before Ravana, a minister begins questioning him. "O monkey, do not fear. Speak the truth and I shall request the king to spare you," he says. Hanuman does not even turn towards the minister. He ignores the intermediary and speaks directly to Ravana. It's a subtle but profound lesson. Do not spend your energy negotiating with people who have no authority. The final lesson is that the best negotiations never produce a loser. My mother would sometimes sweeten the bargain by adding an old zari bordered sari along with the money. The vendor left smiling, and so did she. Neither felt defeated. If price cannot be changed, perhaps flexibility, prestige, or an additional benefit can create value. The finest agreement is one in which both sides leave believing they have gained something worthwhile. perhaps no modern leader demonstrated this better than Nelson Mandela. During his long imprisonment, he began with the modest demands such as better clothing and blankets for prisoners. With extraordinary patience and clarity of purpose, those negotiations eventually grew into discussions that transformed a nation. Mandela never negotiated for revenge. He negotiated for a future where both sides could live with dignity. It is this spirit that Thirukkural captures in Kural 679. Nattarkku Nalla Seyalin Viraindhadhe, Ottaarai, Ottik, Kolal. Just as you strive to get the best for your people, ensure that even your opponents receive something and they are not estranged. The finest negotiation is never about creating a solitary winner. It's about building a bridge across differences where everyone walks away beaming. I wish the world leaders had seen their mothers negotiating with street vendors. They might have picked up some important lessons.